we have a problem over here, which is to find if a number is a power of 3 or not. So given an integer n, return true if it is a power of 3, otherwise we return false. And integer n is a power of 3 if there exists an integer x such that n is equal to 3 up to the 3 to the power x. So over here there is a function boolean function which returns true or returns false, either of them. And we are passing a parameter over here, which is n. N is our number which you have to pass. For example, 27. Then the function checks whether 27 is actually a power of 3, and if it is a power of 3, it returns true. Else we have to return the boolean value false. For example, 0 is not a power of 3. There is no x square such that 3 to the power x is 0. So even 3 to the power 0 is 1. So 1 is a power of 3, but 0 is not a power of 3, because anything to the power 0 is 1. And here n is equal to minus 1. So is there anything x such that 3 to the power x is equal to minus 1? No, there is no number like that. So return false. So we can just how do we process this? So for example, I'll just give an example of the same example that okay, 27. Okay, so 27, let's just take 27, and first of all we are going to see how do we check if it is a power of 3 or not. So how we can check that is by dividing it by 3 once, and after we divide it by 3 we get 27 divided by 3, we are going to get 9, right? And we will get a remainder 0. So now what you have to do, you have to again we are going to divide the 9 by 3 again. So after we divide the 9 by 3, we are going to get 3 again, and this time our remainder also will be 0. And now again we see that 3 is divisible, right? So we are going to divide the quotient, which is 3, again. We are going to divide it by 3, and then we will get 1, right? So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and our remainder will be 0. So now we cannot divide 1 because it is less than 3, and we cannot divide 1, and we have got the remainder as 0. So we have to stop over here, and then we have to print that 27 is actually divisible by 3. For example, we just take another example where that number is not divisible by 3. It is not a power of 3. So we will divide it by 3 once, and then we see that we get 3 as our quotient, and we get 1 as a remainder. So we see that our remainder is 1, so we have to return false. So we'll just say false, and that one will get it as a remainder. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a while loop. Okay, so here n will be greater than or equal to 3. So we have to make sure that n is greater than or equal to 3, only then it goes inside the loop. If n is equal to 3 also, it goes inside the loop, because we have because 3 is also divisible by 3, so we can take equal to 3. But if suppose it is less than 3, then we cannot go inside, because anything less than 3 is not divisible by 3. So anything less than 3 means there is 2, there is 1, there is 0, and I mean there is 2 and there is 1, so we cannot divide it by 3, right? They are smaller than the number 3. So inside this while loop we will just write an if condition, wherein we check that if it is actually divisible by 3. That means if it is not divisible by 3, that means we have to return false. And then for each time we are going to divide it by 3, we are going to divide it by 3 so that we can check again and again. We are going to iterate it over and over and again. Then divided by 3, and if n is less than 3, then we will just return if n is equal to 1. It should be equal to 1, right? If it's not equal to 1, that means you have to return false. So we're checking if n is equal to 1. If n is equal to 1, then we will return true over here. Else, if n is not equal to 1, and n is any other number other than 1, for example it is 2, that means it will return false. So if we run this, we will see that we get 27, we get our output as true. So this is how we do this. So thank you.